Hey everybody, thanks for being here. This week we're in the high Sierras of Northern California, ice fishing beautiful Lake Serene. Brought to you by Corning Ford, Procure, Clackercraft, Yakima Bait, P-Line, Max Lure, Fishfield, Brad's Fishing, Arctic Fox Trolling Flies, Ole's Charters, Fishhawk Electronics, and Fishang Products. Now, if you want to learn how to catch more fish, stay tuned. I'm Justin Wolf, and this is Angler West Television. Today, we're in the high Sierras of Northern California, not far from Donner Lake and the 8,000-foot Donner Peak. Ice fishing Serene Lakes. It's been a cold winter, but under the ice, the trout thrive with an abundant food supply that we can imitate for ice fishing success. We're with guide Blake Marshall, along with Mark Christoffel. Blake has us on snowshoes to reach the warmed-up waiting shelter.
All right, guys, so we're in this beautiful lake here from the High Sierra, and we're with Blake, the guide here, and Mark Christoffel. So, Blake, we got set up here. We got some, got the Uyo camera here going. We can really see what's going on. You can see Mark's humdinger working there. And what you tipped that humdinger was with the waxworm. So, what is it about the waxworms you think that gets them going?
Waxworms, it's a really beautiful pale colored grub, and that's what it looks like, just like a caddis or a grub. These fish can't resist it. They're really soft too, so they're pretty delicate. As soon as that fish comes in and bites this thing, it's like it pops in their mouth. They cannot stop eating them once they get a grab of it. So kind of hard to find, and that's one of the things that I've learned about fishing from having a fish tank is find these at the pet store. So we're running this on the humdinger, and then you just thread a little bit of it on to the single hook, and you've got a nice big attractor, and when they come in, they look at that grub and they cannot say no to it.
What species of fish are we going after here?
So today mostly rainbow trout. There is an occasional brook trout. And then there's some non-target species like tui chubs. I believe it's a round-tail chub that they have in here, and then also some catfish that were brought here by the Chinese immigrants.
All right. Now I can see on the screen here, there's all sorts of plankton, right? Some sort of, what are those that are swimming around the little?
Yeah. So you got just a plethora of microorganisms that are in the water. Some of them are going to be like little micro shrimps, diatoms, and all those microorganisms that make up the meal for some of the minnows and some of the other aquatics that these big fish are going to come in and feed on. They'll also filter feed on all of that as well. All those microorganisms just go right into the belly.
Yeah, so even though the lake's frozen over, there's a lot of life going on there, and a lot of, it's still a vibrant, ecosystem down there, and especially when the ice keeps the heat in the lake in the winter, so it's actually better for everything down there to be covered over in ice in the wintertime.
I feel like once the lake is frozen and it's iced over, these fish, they have no predators. They don't have eagles that can pierce down in the water, so their fear level must drop significantly. And I think that's one of the reasons why I just really love ice fishing, is the fish seem to be a little bit more prone to bite.
I see you have a number of scents there.
Oh yeah.
So what do you think about scents? What's your
I run
take
Procure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What flavors?
I'm a big fan of trophy trout. Shrimps are a big benefit, and then another one that I really like is the garlic crayfish. This is the ice gel, trophy trout ice gel. So this one doesn't freeze up. I put a little bit just right around where that sonic chamber is, and that way when everything's popping around, it releases some of that gel and that scent into the water. Go ahead and drop that down there. There's something down there.
That one came in quick.
Something down there right now. We don't have any gear in the water, so a little further. Should be about a little further. Oh, he's I think he's on you. Oh, there's something down there. Oh, he's coming up at you. Come down a little bit.
Oh yeah, there he is. That didn't take but a moment.
Get one click at a time.
That didn't take but a moment.
Yeah, all of a sudden, look at that, it just lit up.
Yeah, I saw that fish on that electronic, and
Doesn't feel giant, but hey, they're all fun.
great work, Mark.
See,
Oh, is it kind of on the ice?
yeah, stepping on the ice a little bit.
Uh-oh,
Yeah.
going in.
There he is. Oh, that's a nice fish. That's a real nice fish.
Pretty male.
Colors on that.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Serene Lakes. I'm Justin Wolf. Serene is actually two lakes joined by a narrow channel. We've started off in the shelter where right away fish are coming through the ice.
Pretty male.
Colors on that.
Yeah.
Hammered that humdinger. And that's that precious metal one. Just your average rainbow trout. Pretty fish, probably a male. A lot of colors, a lot of winter colors right there.
So when that fish hit, were you dead sticking it, or?
I mean, it literally just dropped it right down. I didn't even have a chance to jig it yet, and that thing just whacked it.
Pretty much just put it in his mouth.
You know, earlier we had a fish. Unfortunately, we lost it, but that was dead sticking. It was just sitting there in the holder, and all of a sudden I saw the fish come by, and it whacked it. So I don't know. There's a dead stick, and there's a fish on it there. Yeah, they're coming to life here. There it is.
Yeah, boy.
Oh no, he came off.
So now you got a little bit of a fly going here. What do you got? What do you got on this?
Yeah,
one?
this is Max Lure's Glow Fly. So they have a series of glow hooks, and then they also have these glow flies. And this glow fly has this little bit of spay on it, the spay hackle. And it's just amazing what it looks like when you have this this waxy on there. I mean, it's just such a grubby little bait. And I'm gonna do this on a drop shot. So drop shot's really great for fishing shallow water. I'll drop this right to the bottom, and then this little split shot will just sit on the bottom, and my bait will just be 6 to 10 inches off. All right, so this is the automatic Clam Outdoors Predator, and it's a tip up with a trigger. So I'm gonna set my rod down to the trigger, and then link the device. It's really simple how this one goes together, and then you put your line on this. When this goes down, it will release and activate the spring of the rod. I like to put my line, I'll put my bail so that the line is perfect. Oh, look at,
Yeah.
look at, see if it'll trip it. He's just got to take it and pull it hard enough. It's not the best device for small panfish and stuff like that, because they're just not gonna hit it hard enough. You're probably not gonna see a lot of guys catching perch and crappie on this device, but for trout, it is super effective. You can put this in the shallows, you can walk away. That way you can fish in that 3 to 5 foot water. Once you get away from those fish, you know, you have that less vibration.
You mean vibration by like walking around the hole and making noise? Is that what you mean, or?
Yeah, I mean, these fish have a bladder inside of them, an air bladder inside of them, and then they have these lateral lines that run across the side of the fish, pretty much the whole length of a trout. And they can sense vibration through those lateral lines. Some of it's good. That's kind of why we use some of those rattling, the jewelry on the sonic resonators on those humdingers. will in some ways call fish in. Those little clicks, those little sounds can bring fish in, but they can also, you know, walking on the ice, just us talking would be things that they're not used to hearing. And, you know, like I said, that trout is sensitive to predators, so those would be the factors of why they wouldn't want to hit it. Oh yeah,
There we go. Nice.
very cool. Ooh wee, gotta love trout fishing, especially when it's good action like this. These fish have to eat. So when they swim by and they see these baits,
Nice one.
very pretty fish. I'm guessing that's a female. Try to get her unhooked really quick. Beautiful tail though. It's like a really full tail, some really pretty colors to it.
All right.
Let's see. All right. Always keep your hands wet when you're gonna touch fish. How's that one? Oh. Cooperate.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous California rainbow trout.
We're going back to Lake Serene, but first, here's your Fishfield tackle connections. Now, when you're removing small hooks from fish, there's nothing more useful than a pair of clamp-style pliers. Now, Fishfield.com's got the Fishfield long-range clamp pliers. Just do a search, pick yourself up a pair for under 10 bucks, do yourself a favor. Now, let's go back to Lake Serene and see if we can't catch some more of those beautiful trout through the ice.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous California rainbow trout.
I told people up in Washington that coming down to California to do some ice fishing, and they're like, "What?"
Yeah,
I had no idea. You know.
So many people are really perplexed by the whole situation, but I gotta say, this is one of the best ways to spend a day, a half a day. You can come out here, fish in the morning, go ski in the afternoon, vice versa.
Yeah.
You could go skiing in the morning
Yeah.
and come out and spend a few hours on the ice.
Yeah.
And it's just a great way, whether you're doing a half day or a full day, to enjoy Mother Nature.
We're right up here near Truckee and Donner Summit and all the really awesome ski resorts up here, so it's real close to all that kind of stuff. Really an awesome place.
Yeah, and even close to Reno, I mean, that's another area that you can get cheap hotels, tons of things to do, and you're still only about 45 minutes from a ski resort.
Yeah, I stayed in Reno because
Did you?
yeah, hotels in the wintertime here in the Truckee area,
Oh,
they're
really
a little
expensive.
pricey. But Reno, you can get good deals and
Under $100.
And it's only, I mean, it took me a half hour from Reno to Mark's house in Truckee, this morning. So
You can fly in
yeah,
to Reno.
Sure.
You can fly into
Oh, yeah.
RNO. I love that airport as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just there's a ton of opportunities up here. There's hundreds of lakes, and it's just about getting to them.
All right, got a little fish on the old pop up here.
Yeah, right on that tip up.
Tip up, yeah.
It's an
Okay, move that out of the way. All right. I haven't done a lot of ice fishing myself. I've done several shows, but it's all new. But every time I've done ice fishing, I've just had a lot of fun. I just think this is so cool. Uh-oh.
a little stuck.
What do we got here? Oh, there he is. Okay. Nice.
Beautiful fish.
They're in perfect shape. Just perfect.
So what we got on right now is a Max Lure glow fly. So it's a little fly with a glow hook, the chartreuse glow hook in the back. Blake's rigged it to a drop shot. And looking at this thing on the camera, I mean, it looks like the thing's just kind of floating through the water. And we've tipped it with a little piece of waxworm. And, it's pretty natural looking. I'm watching on the screen, so we'll see. I don't see how a fish can say no to this.
That's what he got the fish on outside. And that is kind of a more natural looking presentation. So if the fish are being a little finicky, that might be the way to go. And then when they're a little more aggressive, the hardware, and that's what Blake was saying. I think.
Absolutely, yeah. Smaller, more natural, more subtle when they're a little finicky, and I think that goes with most species that I know. You know, even the kokanee, we go down much smaller into the coconuts and stuff like that, you know, when they start getting real finicky on us out there. So I think it's just a good rule of thumb to have when you're going fishing, but that looks, it looks like the little shrimp that comes swimming by in the screen from time to time.
We've got more fishing to do, but first, here's your Yakima Bait Minute. You've probably heard of the Yakima Bait spinfish that's been so effective for salmon and trout and everything else over the last few years. But now Yakima's got a new bait coming soon. This is the Yakima Bait Cut Plug. It's based on the same concept as the spinfish, that it pulls apart so you can fill it with bait. Put it back together. This one's rigged with 2 hooks, but you can rig these multiple ways. They'll be available in 2 sizes and lots of great colors. Check them out at the sport shows this winter and look for them this spring, just in time for springers and trout and anything else that likes to chase a wounded bait fish that smells and tastes fantastic. Outside it was 14 degrees this morning, but it's a different story under the ice, where at the surface the temperature is 32 degrees. But according to the Fishhawk TD, just 10 feet down, it's a full 6.6 degrees warmer, making great winter trout habitat.
Feels like a pretty decent one. Hard to know until they come up. I'd really like to see some variety. You know, there are some brook trout in here, and I'd love to pull a nice greasy char up here. But I'm thinking this is feeling like a rainbow again. Yeah, another female.
Explain how you can tell that's a female.
It's a guess, but really small mouth and kind of a blunt nose. The males are the ones that will change a lot of their color, and they're trying to attract the females.
Yeah. But also little eyelashes, mascara on there. See that? All right, so the sun's come up and it's getting nice and warm now. I mean, I'm almost ready to take my jacket off, but maybe not quite that warm, but we're getting there. But you're saying now maybe we can spread out a little bit and maybe explore the lake a little bit. So what do you think?
Oh, it's just setting up the more rods we set up, the more options that we're going to have. Spreading out, obviously, you're going to cover more water.
So you got to look for deeper water or just different areas? I mean, what's the thought process in trying to find fish?
Well, right in here is kind of like a feeding lane. So these fish are kind of swimming around in a circle around the lake, whatever direction they're going. But they're kind of following the shoreline, and they're looking for food that's coming off of weed lines or down trees, any kind of structure. If there's a break, a big flat that goes to a drop, then those fish are going to, cruise along those edges and look for areas to prey on other baits. So if I could find some trees, some down trees, some big boulders, some big drops, I definitely like fishing areas like that. I also like to find a big cruising flat where fish can swim through. And so it's just, we'll look around, we'll poke around, and we're gonna find fish wherever we go. You would be surprised at how many fish are hanging out in these shallow waters, sometimes only 1 or 2 feet deep. And I'll set up a rod along the shoreline. These fish just cruise in, and they seem to be the fish that are feeding.
There we go.
It's coming tail up first. That's not a good thing. Hard to turn them.
Yeah. Bright red.
There you go. Oh.
My daughter's rod. Oh, still there? Yeah.
I bet this is gonna be pretty fun to do with kids when the bite's on, I imagine.
Ice fishing's great with the kids. They absolutely love it. It's a really good way to teach kids how to fish. As long as everything is safe with the ice and everything's set up, then I think that ice fishing is one of the best sports for kids. My daughter's 6. I just had her out the other day and she had a wonderful time.
Yeah.
Oh, tail hooked. Pretty fish.
Got him. Yeah.
That's why it was ripping so hard. Another beautiful release. Woo! Lift into him. There he is. Great work. Woo! Backwards fish.
Ooh,
Pretty one.
very pretty. All right. There we go.
Here we go. Boy, he really does have the drags loose.
Couple.
Oh, that's a pretty one.
He broke the line.
That's a pretty fish.
I got him. Whoa, look at that one. Nice. That's a little better fish. Sweet. That's beautiful. That's not a bad looking pair of fish right there. Out of a small lake. A real high elevation. Remember, trout grow slowly at high elevation, you know. So these are some old fish. There we go.
Little brookie.
A little brookie, you got one.
Hey, I hope you found today's episode valuable and it helps you catch more fish. And be sure to watch this episode again and hundreds of other episodes and helpful videos on the Angler West TV YouTube channel. And follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And remember, without our sponsors, there is no show, so please thank them when you can. Now get out there and do some great fishing.